Hello, and thank you for joining us for Let the Prophet Speak. The 2017 Healing the Whole Woman Conference Cruise was held aboard the Carnival Fantasy. We sailed from Mobile, Alabama to Cozumel, Mexico. Powerful women of God shared their life's journey during this cruise, and they admonished us to journey on. Cancer survivors journeyed on. Widows journeyed on. Divorcees journeyed on. People suffering from natural disasters journeyed on. People that encountered bankruptcies and foreclosures journeyed on. Individuals grieving the loss of loved ones journeyed on. Regardless of your past losses, know that God is with you on the journey. Journey on.
Grieving is a process, and in completing the book, I hit so many different areas. Grieving the loss of a limb, of opportunity of a job, the loss of things that people would never think about, the loss of pets. Makes you have extreme compassion. When Carol shared her story and just over and over shared it, and I said how many years, and she didn't look like she was shocked. I was shocked. It had been many years, but she was still crying. She still felt the pain of that, and it's all right. Everybody grieves differently. Death is something none of us can avoid. We can't miss. Every one of us can and will relate to, because we're going to bury someone. So the death of a dream, death of an opportunity, death of your finances, all of those things throw you into grief. And I developed a tool that will help you through that. Judge Grimes wrote me a powerful foreword, and I'm so grateful. Dr. Dolores wrote me a powerful foreword for that book. Winona wrote, as a therapist, a powerful foreword. A number of people looked because I wanted them to look through it and see how therapeutic it could be. Instead of religious, we've had enough of man's opinion of what it takes to please God. Right. So I covered scripture, and then I gave you the therapeutic examples of therapeutic research, the things that doctors have discovered about people's grief and how they respond when they grieve, so that you will have something and be able to help someone else. Have you ever lost someone and the person came to comfort you and you wish they had never showed up and never opened their mouth? Hands. Because what they said caused more harm. Well, this book will help you know what to say. It will help you know what not to say. I never realized until I was visiting with Pastor Belinda and Pastor Leah, the gang there, Regina, evangelist as well, the gang there at Fellowship Church of Praise, Volusia County, and they had a grief therapist. Wonderful experience. I interviewed her. If you look on my website, and you'll see the interview that I had with her, and she taught me something very powerful. She said, silence is a gift. Yes. She said, if you ever just tried this, just sit with the person. I thought that was the worst thing that could happen when Job's friends sit and stared at him for days. I remember I had preached that text and I was theologically incorrect. I preached that about Job's friends, what terrible friends. I didn't realize they were good friends, and that was one way of helping the person grieve. He was grieving so intensely that they sat and just stared and watched. They had no words. That is okay to say nothing. Your presence sometimes is more powerful than your words. Just being there with the person. What is pain? Run through this real quickly. What is pain? Pain is defined as distress of suffering, mental or physical, caused by great anxiety, anguish, grief, disappointment, hurt, or torment. Have you ever been intensely disappointed? Hurt so badly? Yes. Have you had your heart hurt so badly you thought you were having a heart attack, only to find out that it was heartbreak? My own testimony. Went through that in 9th grade, went through that when you thought I'll never be hurt again. Pain. And I share with that in the book and talk about a lady that her husband came back from, I think it was Desert Storm, and he dealt with post-traumatic stress and then committed suicide, a sudden death, and committed suicide. It threw her into a level of grief that she gained 100 pounds in 1 year. And she couldn't lose the weight until she learned how to grieve. Grief is defined as an intense emotional suffering caused by loss, by disaster, misfortune. It is also known as an acute sorrow or deep sadness, grief. Just throwing a few definitions out there. If you notice, this is the manuscript for my book. Post-traumatic stress disorder is a mental health condition triggered by a traumatic event. Some symptoms include vivid flashbacks, depression, anger, and severe anxiety. Finally, trauma, a painful emotion or experience or shock. It can often produce a lasting psychosis effect and some psychological or psychic effect, and sometimes a psychosis. So all of these things is a part of the grieving process. Because I like words, I also included the definition, shared many stories with you. I want to put tools in your hands that will help your children. It talks about children grieving as well as adults, how men grieve differently from women. It deals with things that you never thought you needed to grieve, the loss of. It's a way of validating yourself. Instead of someone saying, well, that's no big deal. The loss of your hair is a big deal. Anybody gone through a treatment and lost their hair? Oh, that's a big deal. Have you ever been injured and you were at the mercy of people and someone had to help you? Oh, that's a big deal. So you grieve the loss of your independence. For 6 weeks, I couldn't drive my own car, and I've been driving since I was 15 years old. So at age 62, when I couldn't drive myself because I couldn't put the wheelchair in there and then get in the vehicle myself, or put the knee walker in there, and because the cast on my foot, I was grieving the loss of mobility because I'm extremely independent. I don't mind help, but I mind having no other choice but to have someone help me. There's some women had to grieve the loss of a child. Have you ever lost a child? You've ever been pregnant and you had a miscarriage? Or the child was born dead? Keep your hands up. Those are valid losses. There are women that had an abortion and had extreme regret, and they tattooed the child's picture on their arm, the dates on, they're still grieving over the fact of every time it's that child's birthday, what they could have been, should have been. And you don't want to get stuck in grief. If you mess around and get stuck, that's horrendous. So you want to read about it so you can prevent yourself, keep yourself from being stuck. And you'll hear during this conference other individuals' story, their journey, what has happened to them. And remember, each time a person shares, you're going to just say what? Journey on. How many of you have ever buried someone that you love? Journey on. How many of you have ever gone through heartbreak? Journey on. How many of you have ever experienced an unwanted divorce? Journey on. How many of you have ever lost a dream, what you dreamed of doing all your life? Journey on. How many of you have ever lost a home through bankruptcy, foreclosure, whatever reason? I say to you, journey on. How many of you have ever lost a job? Either you were laid off or fired. Journey on. How many having to reinvent yourself? Yes. Menopause made me reinvent myself. Having children made me reinvent myself. Getting married, I had to reinvent myself. When I stopped teaching and went into full-time ministry, I had to reinvent myself. So life is filled with swift transitions. It's filled with change. So we have to reinvent ourselves and journey on. Journey on. Journey on.
Anything that you have lost is worthy of grief. Dr-Vernette-Rosier's newest book, Journey On, is a tool that will help you do the work necessary to grieve in a healthy manner. The book will be released December 2017, but you can pre-order today. If you pre-order today, we will immediately send you the Journey On drop card, which includes the 4-part Journey On series, plus a 2-chapter preview of the Journey On book. For your gift of $75 or more, you will receive the Journey on Drop card, plus a God of My Dreams t-shirt, journal, and mug. Don't avoid pain. Do the grief work and use this book to help you do the work necessary to grieve in a healthy manner. To place your order, visit our website, vyrosierministries.org, or you can contact us via phone at 810-DREAM-08. Thank you for supporting Let the Prophet Speak and helping us reach the nations.
My strength has left me. I cannot stand, Daddy. Goodness, mercy, stand my daughter up. Daughter, yes, Daddy. Follow my voice. Yes, Daddy. I'll bid you to come, and you come. Yes, Daddy. But Daddy, I can't see you. Daddy, I can't touch you. Daughter, yes, Daddy. You walk by faith and not by sight. Daddy, where am I coming to? Daughter, follow my voice, and of strangers you will not follow. I'm standing in your victory zone. Follow my voice as I say, come, 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 oh Daddy, come, daughter, come, 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 daughter, you have done well. You're more than a conqueror through Christ Jesus. And he told me, Leah, heal. So that's my commission in life from God. That is my desire, my purpose in life. That's my mandate, and that is my focus. And anywhere I go, if I can influence a woman to avoid or to help anything that I've experienced or not experienced from what I've been taught and learned, the emotional healing, which married my physical side or my professional side as a nurse, and the natural healing, that's my mission in life, is to help a woman be totally whole. And thank God for some of you in this room who, unbeknownst to you, Pastor Michelle, I don't know if you even remember one time when you were with Pastor Vern at this one particular time, and Pastor Vern called to check on me when I had the blood clots, and she had you sing this song to me, and it was, I shall live and not die. And you on the phone, and you sung it to me for about 20 minutes, and that's when I had the blood clots, and my blood pressure was like 80/60, and unbeknownst to me, life was leaving me because they couldn't keep it up, and I was actually fearful to sleep because I didn't know what was going to happen next. And Pastor Vern told me to Google and put that on my phone so I can go to sleep by that, and that was one of the things that helped restore me. So, yes, amen. So that's my journey lost, my grieving process through, and my journey on. Amen.
Most people teach women, if you just be quiet, be lovely, do whatever he say, it'll work out. How many know being quiet didn't work out for me?
Journey on.
The quieter I was, the worse he got.
Journey on.
It went from kicking in doors, from throwing objects across the room, to the last final draw with me turning comfort tables over, breaking them, to the last draw of me laying in the bed, sleep, and he comes in to order about nothing. Nothing. He will wake me up early in the morning just to argue, knowing that I was a person I would get up and go to work the next day. I don't care how I felt. I would go to work because I believe if you got a job, go to work. And I would get up and I would go to work, and he would wake me up from time periods of night after night after night, so I would be sleep deprived. Because he wanted to argue from the time that I went to sleep to the time I had to get up and go to work. And he had it down pat because he knew within 30 minutes I got to get up and get ready for work. And guess what he would do? I would get up and get ready for the work, and he would get into bed and go to sleep. So he would sleep all day and wait on me to come back home, so he could wait till nighttime come to start it all over again. And my prayer was, Lord, help me, because the old me is coming back alive. When I was in the world, I really was in the world.
Journey on.
I toted guns, knives.
Journey on.
Everything I had. And now I'm saved, and now I got to submit to a man that is tormenting me. And I'm saying, God, how can this be happening to me? Lord, why did I not meet this man before I got saved? Why couldn't I have met him before this time? And now I got to be quiet and submit and be a loving wife in the eyesight of people, but yet on the inside of me, there's a storm brewing. And so it was going for a period of time, and I began to tell God. I remember that one time it escalated so bad, and I used to tote guns. I shoot guns all the time. I even went to my brother's house because it started escalating, and I got his 357. I said, God, I can't take it no more. I said, Lord, if he don't stop, I'm going to kill him. I'm very serious, y'all. My prayer was, Lord, I don't want to go to prison. Either he's going to die or I'm going to die. Somebody's going to die. And I remember the Lord told me, he said, just get still. He said, sit and wait, because I am about to move. But how many know that when God speaks to us and says it's about to move, sometimes it does not mean right then and there. It might mean there's another part of escalating that you got to go to, that God allowed you to transition out. So I said, okay, God, I won't kill him tonight. I just go to live. Okay, I push God. I won't kill him tonight. I'll tell you, I was so angry that I literally had to sit myself in the closet and pull the door on myself and speak to me and say, Debra, you're better than this. Debra, this is not God's will for your life. Debra, you can come out of this. God didn't bring you this far to leave you. Debra, hang on in there. Don't do it, Debra. Hang on in there, Debra.
Because when I left my house and I went to school, I had to deal with being bullied. Now, we didn't call it bullying back then. They call it now. That's a politically correct word you use. But back then, let me qualify this. They didn't throw me in the locker room. They didn't snatch my food. But I was called names. I'm black. Tar baby. Black jelly booty. It's jam right now, but carry on. Now, I won't be able to say all that in front of anyone, because those are embarrassing names that you have to deal with when you're 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old, being called names by black people. About something I can't control. So I was self-conscious of my looks. I was self-conscious of what I looked like, and I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to be loved. I wanted to fit in. But I always felt like an outcast. I always felt like a reject. That's how I felt. I became bitter. I became mean. I became hateful. And then I learned how to throw rocks. When I mean throw rocks, I mean these. So at a young age in elementary school, I got into fights. So school was a battle zone for me. was struggling. Always fighting and always having to deal with struggles. Even in college, I get to college, I pledged a sorority, and them girls acting like a bunch of pure POD fools. I ain't gonna say what sorority it is. All I got to say is I got in there. We wind up getting in trouble. They wind up suspending the group. We had to go to 2-3 hearings, and I'm sitting up here like, once again, I'm dealing with trying to be included, and I'm seeing all this frustration and all this struggle, all this strife. I almost got in a couple of fights, but I knew better now. And then, when I came out of college, I wanted to go to law school, but I couldn't go to law school right away. I didn't plan well enough. I see that now. But my best friend, she went. So for 2 years, I worked at Dillard's, applying to go to law school. I said, God, I want to be a lawyer. And I kept getting rejected over and over and over and over and over with law schools. But God gave me a assurance. He said, 1997, you're going to go to law school. And I said, I am? So I started acting like it. I got me a second job. I started walking in faith. And I applied to all schools. 1997, God got me in. There's so more of my journey, but I can say this to you. See, I became a fighter. I had to learn how to stand on my own twos. I had to learn I can't depend on other people to come to my aid. There's times you got to learn how to encourage yourself. Yes. And I encourage myself by keeping it moving. Even though I felt at times I didn't feel loved, but I realized quitting was not an option. Not for me. I don't know how to quit. I don't know what it means to quit, because my God taught through my daddy not to quit. Yes. And now, I'm a public defender. And now, my fight is not with the person. Now I fight for my client. I deal with the judge. I had to fight this prosecutor. Why? Because I had to defend my client. God was preparing me to be a fighter for somebody else.
Anytime there is a loss of marriage, especially if you dreamed of being married, I dreamed of being married in 2nd grade. And got married my sophomore year in college. Been married 42 years. There are some people that they're married type, married kind, they dream of being married, and they lost that marriage. And the world did not give them permission to grieve it. There's a ritual that comes with a natural death, but there aren't necessarily rituals that come with a divorce, except for you getting your divorce papers, and that is not necessarily sufficient. I met a young lady at MegaFest who sat next to me, went to the film festival, and she said, I got a divorce, and a friend of mine bought me tickets to this event to help me because I'd just gotten a divorce. My divorce was filed the week before. And she said, everyone that I knew said to me, just get over it. Stop crying already. And I shared with her some excerpts from my book, like I'm going to share with you today. And she said, thank you so much. Can I stay connected with you? Because it made me think it was something wrong with me grieving over the loss. Touch someone next to you and say, you have my permission. You have my permission. To feel it. To feel it. And allow God to heal it. And allow God to heal it.
I grieved that particular marriage, death, for about 7 years. And no one knew. I would go to work, I was a functioning griever, I'd call it. Because I would go to work, I would go to church, sing on the praise and worship team, did other functions in the church, was around my family, but when I went home, I had the blackout curtains, everything was so dark, I was there by myself. 7 years, I wouldn't sleep in the bed, I slept on the couch. 7 years I did that. And then all of a sudden, I guess we started getting teachings about dealing with grief. And I kind of just came out of that. I had someone come in and, I got a prophecy. That's what it was. I got a prophecy about changing things up in my home. And so I had somebody come in and repaint the inside a brighter color. And just make some changes. Bought new furniture. Nothing looks the same as it did. Because I claim my victory. I'm gonna walk in it. God has another plan for my life. Something that I know not of what He's going to do, but I know it's beautiful. I know that I'm going to be married again. I've already got the word about that. I know that I'm walking in victory. The battle is not mine, but it's the Lord's, and I'm giving it to Him wholeheartedly. Turning on now.
How many of you have ever buried someone that you love? Journey on. How many of you have ever gone through heartbreak? Journey on. How many of you have ever experienced an unwanted divorce? Journey on. How many of you have ever lost a dream? What you dreamed of doing all your life? Journey on. How many of you have ever lost a home through bankruptcy, foreclosure, whatever reason? I say to you, journey on. How many of you have ever lost a job? Either you were laid off or fired. Journey on. Having to reinvent yourself. Yes. Menopause made me reinvent myself. Having children made me reinvent myself. Yes. Getting married, I had to reinvent myself. When I stopped teaching and went into full-time ministry, I had to reinvent myself. So life is filled with swift transitions. It's filled with change. So we have to reinvent ourselves and journey on. Journey on.
Anything that you have lost is worthy of grief. Dr-Vernette-Rosier's newest book, Journey On, is a tool that will help you do the work necessary to grieve in a healthy manner. The book will be released December 2017, but you can pre-order today. If you pre-order today, we will immediately send you the Journey On drop card, which includes the 4-part Journey On series, plus a 2-chapter preview of the Journey On book. For your gift of $75 or more, you will receive the Journey On drop card, plus a God of My Dreams t-shirt, journal, and mug. Don't avoid pain. Do the grief work and use this book to help you do the work necessary to grieve in a healthy manner. To place your order, visit our website, vyrosierministries.org, or you can contact us via phone at 810-DREAM-08. Thank you for supporting Let the Prophet Speak and helping us reach the nations.